Hey guys, Todd here. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the beginning clips, it is 60 degrees. I'm in a t-shirt. It is a beautiful day out here. It might tend to get a little windy on me because the wind's starting to come out of the south and starting to pick up a little bit. So we're going to try to get a little bit done before the audio gets too bad. First thing I got to do on the agenda today is stack this wood that I got in the back of the truck. And if y'all caught my last short that I put out, I had a lot of people guessing what this wood was, and they were all red oak guesses, and it was a good guess, but this is actually honey locust. I'm going to stack that over here, and while I'm here with the piles of red oak, I'm actually going to set a couple of them next to each other so we can kind of see the difference and compare. I don't have a lot of honey locust split, and you are right, when it's good straight grain, it splits similar to red oak, but it is a lot different looking when you get the grain next to each other. So that's one job I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go down the fence line here where the cattle make their way back to the main pasture, and there's an old white oak laying on the ground in the fence line that I've been walking by for years. And I'm going to cut into that and see if that's any good, and I'd like to get that kind of that snag area all cleaned up. It's just kind of an eyesore. So I'm going to mess around with that today, and we're going to get this wood stacked, so stick with me. All right, everybody, I grabbed a few pieces of this red oak off the pile over here. Hopefully this audio ain't too bad for you. We're going to get this wood stacked and head on back, but first I wanted to show you this, this wood here. So if you can see, this is your red oak on the right side here. The grain is a lot tighter. And then over here, the three pieces on the right's the red oak. And over here is the honey locust. And if you could see, the grain is just a tad bit wider on that. But man, from a distance, if you had those setting side by side, just like everybody in the short, all guessed red oak. So they were very good guesses. And on the end is the dead giveaway. I know the camera's not going to pick this up. Well, maybe a little bit there. You see them white stripes? I know I'm kind of all crooked here in between those white stripes in there on the end grain. All your oaks have those white stripes, and the honey locust does not. You could see the grain, but what I'm talking about is these white stripes going actually against the grain. You can see the rings from the tree going this way, and then you could see these white stripes going up. That's a dead giveaway on the oak, and I am absolutely no expert here, guys. It takes me a while sometimes. I just happen to know that this was honey locust because it had been standing dead for years. All right, let's get to stacking. All right, so I just added that honey locust right there to the top of that red oak. It's a really thin layer. I'm trying to keep it as flat as possible because I'm probably going to cover this winter. But right now I'm going to add a little bit more red oak to this, go up a little bit higher, and then I'm going to cover it probably in the fall before the weather starts snowing and getting crazy. So that's done. We're going to head back all the way back past all this equipment, back past those cedar trees in the fence line, and we're going to work on that snag a little bit. But I am behind the truck right now because the wind is definitely picking up, bringing in that good warm air. So we're going to probably go in time lapse. I'm going to clean that mess up, and I don't know if I mentioned it or not, we're going to go back to where the white oak along the creek side was, and I'm going to recover a little bit more of that white oak to take home while we're out here. All right, everybody, I'm having a heck of a time here. If you can see, and again, sorry about the audio, I'm on this knob right here, and this is the log I was after. All kind of honeysuckle growing on both sides of it. We had old trees that were snapped off. I got it looking a lot better. I've gotten to the tree, to the actual log, and I found a gold mine here. This log that was laying, as you can see from over there, and it was coming across up onto this log, and it even went up. You've seen in the first part of the video I cut it off. It was a walnut log. As soon as I cut it, I could smell it. So that's like a jackpot for us. Love walnut, especially this dead walnut. You could see the end grain of it there. Definitely walnut. So that was a great find. And I'm not sure I'm gonna make it back to the creek today. It's just getting windier and windier. As you can see, I looked up on the hill and the tripod had blown over. So sorry about that, everybody. Hope that didn't hurt too much. But here's the log. And as you can see, all that new growth on the outside of the tree has all rotted off. This is all the punk is gone. This actual part of the tree here is solid. So I think, and as you can see, they burnt some brush through here years ago. So this end is going to be petrified, but I'm going to saw into it right in there and see if I can get 4 or 5 good rounds out of here, just so it don't all go to waste. Well, there you go. That tree's been on the ground for a long time, and as you can see, that's all solid. That piece is all solid. It looks like right around in here it was a little bit punky, and as you get down this way, it's punkier there. And that piece was even punkier, but the whole bottom part of that is solid. Same way with that piece over there. I don't think I'm gonna mess. I might get one more off of that end there, but the rest of this up here, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. As you can see, almost killed the tripod there. I think we can make something out of it, and then the rest of this will probably bring the tractor down eventually, this top part here, and just go ahead and push it up. But the good part of the day was, on top of it, I found this walnut. So we got a pretty good load of firewood right here just by cleaning up this snag. Snag is all down, not hanging over the fence anymore, looks a lot better. All right, everybody. As you can see, I got that walnut all loaded up there in the trailer, and I kind of made a little change of plans. I'm gonna run home since I'm only like 2 minutes from my house, and I'm gonna unload that walnut. My son Evan ought to be home by now. And then we are gonna come back, and as you've seen in that last little time lapse, I cut the ends off of these old logs laying here. One right here, and there's another one over here. Cleared us a trail. There's kind of a little bit of a hill here to back the trailer up to. So I'm gonna run home and grab him. Instead of noodling those all down, beating on them with an axe, I'm just gonna go get him, empty that trailer, and roll him right across this little hill into that trailer. That's the plan anyway. I did not make it back to the white oak along the creek there. I walked just around the bend down here, and it's still a little muddy in that low spot. So instead of cutting ruts, we're gonna give that another day or two. But all in all, this was a great trip to the farm on a Sunday afternoon just to get outside. I saved the white oak log. There's probably, it looks like about 8 or 9 rounds there I was able to save out of it. And then the bonus was this log that was laying across it all that I cut up at first wound up being a walnut log. I thought it was a hackberry tree. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching and bearing with this wind. This audio might be a little bad. Of course, I won't know that until I go to editing. And for the time being, thanks for all the new subscribers. I want to thank everybody for watching today. And until next time, like I like to say, get outside. See ya.